this is Chrislou Alba. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time since the last time I posted here on my channel. It's just that I've been so busy with my studies and I need to prioritize all of my schoolworks also. And I'm also dealing with my mental health lately. I felt pressured every time I'm thinking for a new content, so that's why I paused for a moment to upload another video, and I need to focus more on my studies. Anyway, I hope you understand, guys. I'll still be posting videos here on my channel, unlike before that I usually posted every week, but this time maybe randomly. I don't know. I don't have a specific time. But anyways, thank you all for waiting, and I hope you guys to still support me. Anyway guys, for this video, I'll be showing you how to create a cowl neck dress using two fabrics, and I'll be sharing with you also the easiest pattern that I make for this DIY. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing I did is to make a pattern, and of course I already have my body measurements that is needed. So for the top horizontal line, I made it 5 inches down as allowance. In making pattern, I always have these horizontal and vertical lines at the edge of the pattern paper. I always make these lines because sometimes the edge of the pattern paper is not straight, and also this serves as allowance. Next, I measured the circumference of my upper bust, which is 31, and divided it into 4, so the quarter of my upper bust will be 7 3/4, but I made it 8 inches. For the second horizontal line, I measured the distance between my upper bust down to my lower bust, and it is 5 inches. From the left side, I marked 8 as quarter of my bust circumference, which is 32. Then, from my bust down to the waist, which is 7.5 inch, for another horizontal line. And then from the left, again, I marked 6 3/4, which is quarter of my waist measurement. For the distance of my waist down to my hips, I made sure that I'm sitting to measure the crotch, which is 10 inches down, and then I also measured my desired length, which is 27 inches. Connecting all of my markings, I made sure to create curves so that it won't look pointy when I cut the pattern. This time I'm creating armholes, and at the upper bust line, I measured ½ inch to the inside and connecting it to the end point of my lower bust. I am just sketching a curved line to manipulate the armhole. So from the upper bust line, I measured 4.5 inches up, since we will be folding this part here, and that our neckline does not show some seam lines. For the back pattern, I only trace the front pattern from its waist down to my desired length or the hem. So here are the fabrics that I'll be using. So for the front fabric, it is a velvet type of fabric which has a see-through designs. And I love the color, it looks so sexy, but it is not stretchy. For the interfacing, I just use a black cotton fabric. Folding the fabric lengthwise, right side facing together, then pinning the pattern to the fabric, and then cut everything. Make sure to add at least 1 inch allowances. I also did the same thing to my interfacing fabric, cutting it with a 1 inch allowance. I joined all the front fabric pieces right sides facing together as well as the interfacing fabric to close. I only sew it with a straight stitch since it will be hidden once the fabrics are joined together. Once done sewing the side seams, I'll be inserting the velvet fabric into the interfacing fabric. Make sure that the velvet fabric is in the right side while the interfacing fabric will remain at the wrong side. I'm pinning the side seams as well as both the top part of the dress and of the back. So here's how it looks. I will just sew the entire pinned part with a straight stitch. Before top stitching the entire seams, I am cutting strips from the interfacing fabric to make some loops to be attached at the back. I measured 2 inches of fabric as the width, and for the length it is 9 to 10 inches. And for the strings, I want my dress to have a crisscross back, so I made very long strings that is in enough length. I just made 2 strips and it does not have any specific length or width measurement. The reason why I cut a wider strip, it is because I want to make sure that everything is sewn and does not leave any opening and that I can easily flip them in. Of course, I cut the excess fabric. I'm still using a safety pin as a loop turner because I just find a lot of loop turners in Shopee that are cheap, but the shipping fee is way more expensive. I already finished flipping my strips out, so this time I am cutting them into 4 smaller lengths to make it as a loop. I am cutting the seams for opening to insert our loops. I locate it to the end point of my armholes, and for the other pair of loops, I measured 5 inches from the end point of the armhole down to the waist. I ripped the seams for a little bit of opening and just insert the loop to it, and then pinning it to stay in place. openings where the loops are located so that it stays in place, and then just cut the excess. And then I am flipping it inside out. I just make sure that the loops really are out. Then we can start to top stitch everything. We need to top stitch it to flatten the seams and that it looks clean. No bulge part, and to secure the loops inside. We will now attach the long strips to the top. I just fold the neckline part and sandwich each ends of the strips. Secure it first with pin so that it stays in place. There is one mistake I did. It's that I should not align the ends of the fold part to where the loops are located, because if I flip it out, the loop will be hidden together with the seams. So instead, the ends will be at the top of the loops. Then to finish the dress, I just fold the hem together, sandwiching the raw edges, and then sew top at the top. And that's it. Here's our DIY cowl neck dress. That's all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video tutorial, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the bell button for you to get updated once I upload another video. See you on my next video. Bye!